Extract from Picturesque Sketches of London Past and Present by Thomas Miller, 1852, London Fog. Such of our readers as have never been in London in November can scarcely imagine what it is to grope their way through a downright thorough London fog. It is something like being embedded in a dilution of yellow peas pudding, just thick enough to get through it without being wholly choked or completely suffocated. You can see through the yard of it, which at the next stride you are doomed to swallow, and that is all. It is a kind of meat and drink, and very sorry sustenance for those who are asthmatical, as you may tell by hearing one old cough answering to another from the opposite sides of the street, and which, although you cannot see the passengers, you can tell from their grumbling that they do not like the fare at all. You have the same soft, soapy atmosphere served up at breakfast, dinner, tea, and supper. Every time you open your mouth, you partake of it, and all day long you are compelled to burn lights and, in addition to the fog, inhale the fumes from gas, candle, or lamp, which have no more chance of escape than you have, so burn on, dim, yellow, and sulkily, as if the very lights needed all the warmth they could obtain, and thus confined themselves to illuminating the smallest possible space. The whole city seems covered with a crust, and all the light you can see beneath it appears as if struggling through the huge yellow basin it overspreads. You fancy that all the smoke which had ascended for years from thousands of London chimneys had fallen down all at once, after having rotted somewhere above the clouds, smelling as if it had been kept too long, and making you wheeze and sneeze as if all the colds in the world were rushing into your head for warmth, and did not care a straw about killing a few thousand of people, so long as they could but lodge comfortably for a few hours anywhere. You blow like a grampus in quicksand, with the keel of a 74 on his back, and get about as much fresh air as if you were in his situation, a pair of bellows with a hole in the side, through which you might cram your double fist. You would make perfect music when blown, compared to the noise of your own breathing. You seem as if you had swallowed 6 broken-winded horses, that they were inside you, alive and kicking, and for the soul of you, you cannot get rid of one. You step gingerly along, feeling your way beside the walls, windows, and doors whenever you can, until at last you tumble headlong into some cellar, perhaps on the shoulders of some little cobbler who is at work below, and who chances to have his sharp awl uplifted at that moment. Or perhaps it is an underground coal shed, and you alight on the back of a black-looking woman weighing coals, and double her up in her own scale, receiving in return a couple of black eyes from her husband. After a hearty drubbing, you escape once more into the streets, and, as you cannot see a yard before you, break your shins over a milkman's can, and upset the contents onto the greasy pavement. He tries to collar you, but your blood is up now, and you give him a straight armour, which sends him into the area, upsetting the fat cook as he falls. You then run for it, and come full butt against a bow window of a respectable old gentleman, with whom you have a roll or two in the gutter, thankful that you did not fall on the other side and stave in the shop front. You shake yourself, and are glad that you are as you are, for a foot beyond where you fell, the yawns of an open grating, beneath which runs the huge sewer that empties itself into the Thames, and you wonder how many have slipped in during the day. Grampus, a type of mammal similar to a dolphin or a whale. Bellows, an item used to blow air to stoke a fire. Cobbler, a person who makes and mends shoes. Drubbing, a thorough beating.